I'm really interested in emergence and the reality of what you feel like versus what you're seeing. And that's me looking in a mirror and the ambiguity of which is stronger, the mirror image that I see myself or my own presence was an interesting conflict to me. So it's a painting about the moving back and forth between seeing and being. Seeing things really matters to me incredibly, you know. I just feel like I'm looking. That's my true language, to look. So I don't see myself as an artist. I just see myself as, that's my language, sort of lingual. You know what I mean? My mother was a really poor Jew from the Bronx whose father was a socialist laborer, and she became a prominent geneticist, and my father was a physicist, nuclear physicist at Los Alamos. My mother wanted me to be a geneticist and go to Radcliffe at the time. And this girl in my class said, can I have a ride to Providence? Because she was interviewing for RISD. And I never heard of an art school, and so I drove her down, and they had this entrance exam where you draw like a sewing machine, all these different things, and don't erase it because they want your original thing. And I was so erudite, I thought they were doing a Jasper Johns thing, and I erased it all. And Bryce Hobbs, the teacher, called me in and said, you know, Miss Frisch, what's this about? And I told him. He burst out laughing, let me into RISD with half scholarship. I never would have gotten in on my drawing because that's not what I was trained to be. And I came for like 6 weeks and I was terrified. I dropped out. So I went to BU for a year. I can't even remember it. And then I got my courage up and came back. But the funny thing is the faculty, there was a few people that were just good enough faculty to see that clumsiness and inability as an opening to a larger vocabulary. In other words, I wouldn't be stuck, you know, with what I call automatic handwriting. You're better off being handicapped in your first marks and stuff because it keeps you more open to learning. Talk about resilience. Resilience has a lot to do with being essential. I call it emotional muscle tone. And resilience teaches you that it's not going to be easy, that you're going to need strength to have that kind of emotional muscle tone and work muscle tone. So for example, you would come, if a painting's bad, resilience teaches you to throw it out. It makes me more judgmental of falsehoods. If it's wrong, you can call it by its real name, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And there's a clarity to art that there isn't in words, I feel. That can't be told any other way, yeah. And truth, like that thing, truth sets you free. Like, it'll free everyone, you know? And I want that for people. Art is really core to vision, and vision helps you clarify how to solve problems, you know? Even if, you know, you censor the Smithsonian Portrait Gallery and won't let them say what the pictures are about, the pictures talk about it anyhow. They can't take that away, you know?
There have been many, many, many moments in my career where I thought, why am I an artist? Why do you really want to be an artist? You're generally stuck in your studio by yourself, 24/7, often without any contact with the rest of the world for days and days and days and days and days, and you wonder, is it worth it? And but then there's a certain time when you realize, yes, it is worth it, because you're not doing this for gratification. You're not doing it for reward. You're doing it because there's something deep down inside you that needs to do it. There is this force outside of yourself that you're being guided by. Community is at the center of my work, and it has always been at the center of my work. Community has everything to do with how I relate to my family and my friends, and I remembered something that I read probably, a while ago, but it stuck with me for many, many years. And it basically said that you cannot travel far from where you come. And I keep thinking about that. I kept thinking about it, and kept thinking about it. And I thought, yeah, how important that statement was for me, because that statement said that no matter where you go, no matter what you do in life, your origin, your place, so where you come from, will always be very important. And so I take that to mean not just location, but also the place in the heart, the place in the soul, the place that you come from, those things that you were taught as you were, a kid growing up, the things that you believe in, is a part of that place where you come from. Community comes from that place of caring, of acknowledging that these are people who, no matter what, you will be connected to. Their identity, way of life that I also support are people that are part of my community. Teaching and helping is very key to a strong community. You're not just sharing knowledge and information, but sharing skills, sharing your creative skills, sharing the things that you honestly believe in, and keeping those things alive in your community that I feel are important to making the community strong. I think that artists not only show the way, but through the artwork, the work always has some idea of resilience in it. You are engaged in a creative process that talks about life, those things that are important to you, not just as an artist, but as a person, as a part of a community, that your resilience, your staying power, being able to be here no matter what, to make your art no matter what, to say your statements no matter what, to be heard no matter what, is very, very important.
By the entrance of a cave in the south of France. It reminded him of the Marble Arch caves in Northern Ireland. I'd like to cycle around here, he thought. I'll tell Suzanne, he thought. We could come together, he thought. Use a tandem, he thought, before realizing that he was now only a floating head at the entrance of a cave. Seeing this, he decided to go in.
Ladies and gentlemen, can I please have your attention?
And here we go.
Of all the gin joints in all the towns in all the world, she walks into mine.
All right, Mr. DeMille, I'm ready for my close-up.
I'm gonna make him an offer he can't refuse.
Toto, I have a feeling we're not in Kansas anymore.
I'm the king of the world!